25 years ago today, Australia music lost one of its brightest stars. INXS's charismatic leading man, Michael Hutchence, was fundamental to the group's phenomenal success, helping them sell more than 80 million albums. His shock death in a Sydney hotel room made headlines around the world, but his legacy and his music will never be forgotten.
Love, baby, love. Say it out, say it proud.
Some say he was Australia's last real rock star. Michael Hutchence joined school friend Andrew Farriss and his brothers in their fledgling pub rock band, the Farriss Brothers, in 1977. But it wasn't long before they were INXS, and their sexy leading man was being touted as Australia's Mick Jagger.
I hate to say this, but you're also becoming sort of a bit of a cult hero, Michael. Yes, a lot of people are sort of saying, oh, Michael, like that.
The band started to make waves at home with early albums like Shaboo Shabba and The Swing, and a string of hits in the early 80s.
You might know of the original sin.
The band's record producer, Chris Thomas, called Michael Hutchence a rock star waiting to happen, who just needed a hit record. And by 1987, he had one.
Come over here.
And it was big. The release of their sixth studio album, Kick, launched the group onto the world stage.
I'm ready for you, sexy you're one of my kind.
And made Hutchence an international star.
INXS! 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 Need you tonight!
By September the next year, they'd swept the MTV Video Music Awards, with Need You Tonight winning in 5 categories.
Thank you very much.
Sometimes you care.
Kick went on to spawn 10 US top 10 singles, including New Sensation,
I was standing.
and the incredible ballad Never Tear Us Apart, written for longtime girlfriend and lifelong confidant Michelle Bennett.
And they could never tear us apart.
And deal with a relationship when you spend, I think I spent 6 months. You spend 6 months of the year away from somebody. You know, keeps it going. I'm just interested in whoever I want. You know. There's no use in curbing yourself, you know, in an emotional level. You'd lose your creativity. You'd lose a lot of parts of you.
I need perfection.
Michael Hutchence's love life attracted as much attention as his music, and never more so than when he hooked up with Australia's sweetheart, the then 21-year-old Kylie Minogue.
The storybook of this is that he's like a dark bad boy and I was the pure good girl. And that was pretty much the truth.
Did you get the money good thing?
He definitely awakened my desire for other things in my world. Yeah, he broke my heart. I have to confess, the hurt stays for quite a long time.
Stop thinking about you.
Kylie's wasn't the only heart he broke. After our pop princess, Michael was linked to Danish supermodel Helena Christensen for 4 years before this moment changed everything.
This is a guest that has everything that a rock star needs to have. Danger, talent, curly hair, and Australian subtlety. And for the first time, this is a guest that I want to have my leg over.
Michael and UK TV host Paula Yates were a tabloid dream, but she was married to Live Aid legend Sir Bob Geldof and cast as a Scarlet Woman, even after the infatuated couple brought their baby girl, Heavenly Hirani Tiger Lily, into the world. Their frustration with the drama and paparazzi was on clear display.
You are being ripped off. The public is ripped off. You are paying money for for fat cats to get fatter on our images, which I should get 10% for every time someone takes a bloody photograph, and every time somebody writes a lie.
Don't ask me.
And then the tragedy that nobody saw coming on the 22nd of November, 25 years ago.
What you know is true.
It's a very sad day down here. A gaping hole's been left in the Australian rock industry. What we know at the moment is that the hotel room is still being cordoned off as a crime scene. Police have taken a leather belt in for scientific examination. They say that there are no suspicious circumstances. There were prescription drugs found in the room, but no illegal drugs.
Michael's body was found in his room at the Ritz-Carlton in Sydney's Double Bay by a cleaner. His death was ruled a suicide. It later emerged that he was distraught over a custody battle with Bob Geldof and had also suffered a traumatic brain injury after being coward-punched by a taxi driver in Copenhagen years earlier. Paula Yates died 3 years later of an accidental drug overdose. Their orphaned daughter, Tiger, was raised by Sir Bob with her 3 half-sisters. Michael Hutchence is remembered as a sensitive, deep thinker who struggled with insecurity and life on the road.
The amount of experience that you go through in doing what we do is many lifetimes in some ways, you know. Problem is holding on to a fixed point for long enough to understand it and get something from it.
INXS was inducted into the ARIA Hall of Fame in 2001, and their tribute to their fallen friend said it all.
He was charismatic, and yet he was shy. He was a great singer, and yet he knew himself as just a man.
Such an incredible talent. He really was one in a million. And I know it's a tough day for the rest of the guys in INXS today, so sending them all our love as well as Michael's family. He was an extraordinary performer. That day, reporting on that was, without a doubt, pretty much the hardest day at the office I've ever had in my career and will ever have. I'd seen him a couple of days earlier and at lunch, and he was telling me that he had nail polish on his hands because the girls, Bob Geldof's 3 girls, had painted his nails before he came to Australia so that every time he looked at his hands, he'd think of them. And, you know, it was just, they were rehearsing for a tour. They were about to go back on the road, and so many, you know, magical moments that we all remember from seeing Michael play, or what the music has meant to us in all of our lives over the years. It's special. He was a special person.
Yeah, I can't imagine how surreal it was, that moment for you as well, being there.
It was incredible. We have to thank Richard Lowenstein's fabulous documentary Mystify for that incredible footage of Michael and Kylie. If you are a Michael Hutchence fan, I recommend watching that documentary. It's extraordinary. And if I say if you are a Michael Hutchence fan, who isn't?
Exactly right, yeah.
It's incredible. But it was nice to be able to remember some of those incredible performances and music today.
Yeah, beautiful.